I didn't know you read Dickens, Ethan.
It's supposedly the spirit of coal. Doesn't really belong here anymore.
You just quoted him a couple of times now. Honest. Then you should read Great Expectations.
Declan lacks subtlety, but he loves this town like no one else. Old-timers in general already don't like me, and the article just made it worse.
That's the guy who got the mine closed.
I can't believe he showed up.
Walter can be overwhelming at times, but he means well. He's owned this bar for almost a decade and still can't afford another employee. That's where Nick and I sat every time he dragged me out for drinks after work.
Sammy! Oh, it's been ages.
Tara?
Oh, me? I've had this stomach thing lately, always churning. And this thing with Nick, his car went up like a Sunday ham. He burned alive, you know. Have you met Hugh? He took over the old pharmacy just after you left.
No.
The infamous Sam. I've read that article you wrote on the mine. You must have put in a lot of legwork on that.
It took reading thousands of public records, but a pattern emerged of willful negligence.
You are a bulldog. A dangerous man to anyone using power to exploit others.
That's nice of you to say.
Oh, don't hesitate to drop by the pharmacy sometime.
Oh, and Sam, you...
But for now, I have a feeling you're not here for us.
Oh, right. Don't be a stranger, Sam.
Bess always had a soft spot for Nick. I think she liked his work
I thought
ethic.
it was 4,000.
That's what crooked pharmacists want you to do. That amount is damaging.
Can't believe this whole thing's still working. Nick and I spent so much money on this machine. Some people can play this game drunk. Anna was best at 3 beers. You'd think a kid at a bar would stand out more. Declan lacks subtlety, but he loves this town like no one else.
So I had to throw them all out on their ear, and only then did I realize.
Ah, Samuel, my favorite ex-muckracker. Join us, join us.
How was the funeral?
Wasn't there. Setting up for this.
Everyone came, most of the town, it felt like. A sea of sad, wet eyes. I gave the eulogy. Felt hollow. So hollow. He worked for me for years. For years, my best reporter. What do you even say about it?
Remember that article? Something about stoplights? No one cared, but he did. Months of effort.
Yield signs. He approached each story with his pen like a knight wielding a sword.
It's the small things. Like he always kept his window down. Said cars made him claustrophobic. That's how he stays with us. The little details.
I remember the bar bets about that safe spot at Pac-Man. He got me one night.
Yeah, got me once too. Can't believe it's real.
Enough about Nicholas, enough. Tell me, how have you been, Sam? How have you really been?
I spend all day doing nothing. I don't even count days, they just blur together. Nick's death barely hit me. It was like a pinprick compared to just everything.
Time heals most wounds. Some it just makes worse. Sounds like you need something to pull you out of your rut.
Well, I think I've taken enough of your gent's time.
Go, mingle, circulate, but you must join us for an actual round later. You must.
Yeah, that could be nice. Maybe. We'll see.
Think about it, Samuel. A drink with friends is worth 1,000 among enemies.
He's owned this bar for almost a decade and still can't afford another employee.
So, Sam, how's life been treating you?
Well enough, I guess. I got a roof over my head. Can't really complain.
Where'd you end up? You ran so fast after the mine closed, no one knew where you went.
Just someplace out of state. Kind of a fresh start.
You staying in town long?
Not really. Why? You think I'm gonna disturb the peace or something?
Wouldn't be your first time. Have a nice evening, Sam.
Everyone here seemed to really like my dad.
Of course they did, Bug.
Everyone's nice in that creepy way. It's weird. Even Anna's weird.
People don't really know what to say, but they genuinely liked your dad. So even if they're weird and clumsy, it comes from a good place.
Now you sound all weird and clumsy.
Don't I always?
Do you ever just watch people
It's pretty much all I do.
Me too. But I don't always like what I see.
There was no love lost between Kathy and Nick since their divorce, but anyone can see she's taking his death hard. Kathy,
Sam, you actually came.
I know you two haven't been together for a long time, but I'm still sorry.
We hadn't been close in years, but he was my daughter's father. I'll miss him. Joan was really hurt when you left town. Nick and I were never close after the breakup, and Joan's never had a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Maybe don't break her heart this time when you leave town. All right?
Hard to make promises. I don't do well with those in Joan.
I've noticed.
But I'll try.
Sam, I'm gonna hold you to that.
You're a lot like Pac-Man, Sam.
I consume everything in my path.
You find every last bite. The mine closing wasn't your fault. Your investigation just hurried things up. You probably saved some lives, you know.
Hi, Dad. Hi, Muley.
You piece of
Language.
Is that a wedding ring?
I didn't know you were thinking about marriage.
Oh, it's just... It feels like the right thing to do.
Dad, what's the point of getting married?
Well, it's just one of those things people do, Bug. Here, you can play.
Someone has to show you grown-ups. Video games are the realm of the young.
Have you talked to Anna about this?
That's kind of the point. I'll talk to her about it when I show her the ring.
If you say so. Hey, just remember I'm here, right? If you need anything. Anything but my arcade secrets. Those I'll take to the grave.
Sorry we lost touch. Sorry I lost touch. Rest up, big guy. I wonder who took that picture. Happier times. We drove straight to the sea after work on a Friday. Hell of a weekend. Those two were a great team. Bug was so small back then. Look at us. He was more her best friend than a dad. This photo always looked weird. Nick could never keep a straight face.
Samuel, guess I lost the bet.
Bet?
Yeah, that bet you'd never come back to Basswood. Not after you went careening out of town. like a bat out of hell the instant that article broke bad.
That wasn't the reason I left town.
Oh, you think it was that girl of yours? You left because the town hated your guts.
What are you even doing here, Dennis? You and Nick become friends or something?
Nope. He thought I was a drunk, which I am. And I thought he was a hack, which he was.
This coming from the IT guy. Didn't know resetting passwords could give you a journalism degree.
It can. But it does give me less patience for people who sling mud my way. Relax. I'm just playing. At least tell me how you been.
Yeah, like you'd care.
Not too much. But suit yourself if you want to be like that. Anyway, cheers to Nick. A man that, unlike us, people actually liked. Speaking of which...
As time draws near, my dearest dear, when you and I must part, how little you know of the grief and woe in my poor aching heart. 'Tis but I suffer for your sake. Believe me, dear, that's true. I wish that you were staying here.
Should I have brought flowers? Do people expect me to? Dennis, bitter and jaded. He's even worse than the last time we spoke. Has it really been 2 years since I saw her? She hasn't changed a bit. Anna?
Sam! I've missed you. Why'd it take so long for you to darken my doorstep?
I won't lie, it really hurt coming back. I stopped by Lookout Point on the way here.
Sam, why'd you do that to yourself?
A desire to open old wounds? The old-timers gave me hell when I came in, too.
People around here have short tempers,
And long memories.
but most of them mean well. Sam, the mine was gonna close anyways. Maybe in a year or 2, 5, if the Lord has a sense of humor. It was gonna run dry or have an even bigger disaster. It wasn't your fault.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that. It doesn't make it easier, though.
It's gotta make it a little easier. When my father lost his legs, nobody knew the mine wasn't following regulations. You were the only one who started asking questions. Whenever people talk about you, he always says, you did the right thing.
Yeah, well, your dad's Joe. He's an oak. Unmoving and annoyingly supportive.
It wasn't just him. Nick thought your piece was great. He was actually jealous. He always wanted to write something that shook the pillars of heaven, as he used to put it. You know, Nick and I had moved in together. Started to get serious. But I think it's only now I realize how much I cared for him.
Yeah. That's, you two must be so hard.
Are you okay? You knew about us, right? He said he was gonna tell you.
Yeah, I knew, but knowing and, knowing are different.
Yeah, I guess they are. But this was all nice. The funeral, the wake. Walter did a good job. But it all just makes me feel heavy. It makes my heart hurt. Like Nick's memory has been laid on top of me and I'm still carrying him.
Nick's death. Do you know if he had any enemies? Working on anything dangerous?
Whew. Now, this is a real can of worms.
This is a wake.
I know that.
Do you? This isn't the time to be digging and pushing. You always do this. You always... I get it. I just... You're still you, huh? You'll always still be you, Sam. I hope you never change, but I can't handle this right now. I'm gonna go home. I hate that his stuff is all over my house. Then drink and cry all night. You do what you need to do. See you around.
Samuel, come. Have a round with me.
I need a drink or two. Or 3. And then I'll go.
Oh, we ran him out of town. I wonder what he's planning to ruin this time.
There was no love lost between Kathy and Nick since their divorce. But anyone can see she's taking his death hard.
So tragic, what happened to Nick. The details are horrible. They think he didn't die on impact. Instead, he roasted to death. Not enough to damage the bones, but, you know, not a pretty sight. Unless you're into that kind of thing, of course. I didn't mean to be rude, Sam.
It's all right, Tara. I don't like the sight of dead, burned people.
Oh, thank God. I wouldn't want to be rude on a day like this. Poor Sam. Now that Nick is gone, everyone in town hates you. I mean, I don't. Why would I? It's not my job you destroyed. You're not the cause of all my problems. I mean, that's what you did for pretty much all of Basswood, but not to me. So, I don't hate you.
Thanks for the confidence booster, Tara. I'll see you around. Bess always had a soft spot for Nick. I think she liked his work ethic.
Mr. Hicks, good to see you. My condolences for your friend. Coming back in town must not have been easy. Officer Stevenson was telling me about your little welcoming committee.
It's all right. Declan saved the day.
We just don't want any troubles here. Not from you, not from anyone.
Don't worry, I won't stay in town long enough for that. One quick thing. Nick's death. Are you sure it was an accident?
Are we sure? What are you trying to say?
Now, Sam, I know you're a bird dog at heart and a bird dog hunts. But listen, Nick's death was an accident. Don't go riling people up. Don't you think you've done that enough to the nice folks around here?
I guess so. Enjoy your evening.
Does he really think?
You know Sam, he likes to prod and poke, chasing shadows that aren't even there.
People leave you or they die. That's the only way anything ends.
It does look tempting.
So, Nick wasn't drunk, and me? I was drunk as a skunk.
Ah, Samuel. Join us. We were just sharing stories about dear Nicholas. And let me get your next round. Maybe Ethan has a suggestion for a worthy spirit?
Oh, spirits? Oh, no. Friends drink beer.
Yes, I suppose that's fitting. To dear Nicholas.
Yeah, he'd been coming in a lot lately. Sat right there, with a bad dad joke or two.
With friends, I guess? Maybe Anna.
No, by himself with his laptop as his date.
You never drank alone.
You two were close, though, right? Tell me about the man outside the bar.
He had a terrible memory. Couldn't remember names, dates, passwords. Kept his notes squirreled around him like a hoard.
He was always good with Joan, though Kathy did the heavy lifting. Took her to school, fed her, clothed her, and Nick would pick her up. Play dad for a few hours. Mostly she'd just sit in the office drawing. He'd drop her back off with her mom after dinner.
Greater men have done far less by their daughters. The friend of man, the friend of truth. The friend of age, and guide of youth. Few hearts like his with virtue warmed, few hearts with knowledge so informed. If there's another world, he lives in bliss. If there is none, he made the best of this.
Burns. That from your eulogy?
You know Robert Burns? And no, just something I keep on hand for toasts.
Well, it's a good choice. And sorry about that, Sam. I wasn't trying to bring you down.
Everyone liked him. I think even Dennis liked him somewhat.
He always had a lot of friends. A few who couldn't make it sent flowers.
How's the family taking it?
Joan and Kathy seem shaken. Kathy has a lot to deal with, now more than ever. And who can prepare for losing a parent? Not a soul. Not a single soul.
It always seemed so easy for him. Every day he'd show up, smile, no matter what.
Of the qualities in a good man, that one deserves to be at the top.
Not a quality I possess.
This isn't a place for self-pity. This is a place for dour reflection.
Yes, and drinking.
Put that down! Kathy, what's your underage child doing drinking? You have no control over her? Ethan can lose his
I wasn't
license.
doing anything! Don't touch me!
Joan!
Leave me alone. Ugh, you guys are all so stupid!
You do not talk to people that way. I'm sorry, everyone. She's just so...
That was quite heavy-handed. I hope the little one doesn't take it to heart.
Declan sure came at her with both barrels. Joan's tough, though. She'll be okay.
What a night! I'd say that went well. Ish. You got to chat with everyone you've been avoiding. Even if Joan got inside your head with her whole dad mystery death thing. Just shut up. Coming back to Basswood was your idea. You're the one in the driver's seat, Sam. I can't make you do anything. Deep down, you've been looking for a reason to come back. It's gonna be one of those long nights inside your head, huh? Hey, I didn't ask for you to be here. To come back. I couldn't let you miss this. You just showed up. You can't see it now, but the guilt would have eaten you alive. You're back out in the world. Feeling emotions, fitting in, that's progress. Fuck the world. Pointless talking and more talking, and no one says what they mean. Go away. Let me enjoy being miserable. Just try and make sure you don't do anything stupid. No promises.
Checkout was at 9. Sir, we need the room.
No, stay out.
You have 10 minutes before we charge you for another day.
Okay. What kind of monsters have a checkout at 9? What happened last night? Oh, my head. Pills plus drinking. That was not my best idea. Did I black out or what? I can't think straight. I need some water on my face. Clear it up.